Welcome to the It's a Mimic Show, and tonight we are doing another mailbag episode. Originally, it was supposed to be Adam that was going to open up the show, but Adam actually showed up kind of drunk.
Leave me alone, fuck off.
For reals. Adam showed up kind of drunk, which nobody expected.
There have been many false starts.
Many false starts.
So this is mailbag number 7.
I always thought it would be me that showed up drunk if anybody was going to show up drunk.
And I'm the one who lives here. Like, I'm the one who should be showing up drunk.
Yeah, you could be drunk. I've got to travel 50 kilometers to get home. So.
I'm sobering up just listening to you two assholes slap your gums.
So, we're going to roll on 3 random tables, as we usually do. We have 3 different colored dice. We have gray, we have red, and black. The gray one represents white. We have white, red, and black.
Because it's black and white and red all over, like a newspaper.
But they're only black and white.
Yeah, but you read them.
But there's
all
colored
over.
ones now, so, right. So, I guess we start. I guess somebody goes first.
Let's roll initiative as you goes first.
Let's roll initiative.
So we're gonna go
Can I
through.
have the black one to roll initiative?
Sure. We're gonna go through 20 different questions.
Of course, you motherfucker.
What's that say?
That's a natural 20.
That's
and
a-
Adam
That's an
messed it
8
up.
to 5.
I'm just going to do that and still lose.
What number's that?
That is the worst dice. That's an 8.
That's the worst.
You
dice.
guys are rolling off.
Okay, we got to roll off.
Roll
this
off.
is an 8. This is actually the dice that I nuked.
I can't fucking read mine, so...
This is a 19. You got a
says
12. So I guess, hey, I'm first.
You're going first.
Let's do it. I'm going to roll red first because, red ones go faster. And I do got to say...
I'd put my eyes in if I knew this was going to happen.
really quick. Brad, Megan, and Dave,
Yeah.
we're coming for you. Like, this is the revenge mailbag, right?
Oh, but...
We had the B team come in and do their little thing, the little song and
I actually
dance.
listened to that episode over 3, separate stints. Because I was just getting harassed throughout the whole thing.
Yeah, me too. I got so mad. I had to turn it off a couple times and send out text messages and then delete them before I hit send because I'm like, no.
Sleep on it
You need
before
to
you
calm
send it.
down first.
It's funny, I had no problem with that episode at all.
So
All right.
no.
Dan, you go
holds
for it.
That's a
one's
9
red.
on the red.
9 on the red. This one right here. Kane_Moorwind asks, what is your experience with Morkoths? I have an idea of creating an evil sea witch and using the Morkoth stats as a base. Definitely a Dan question, possibly an Adam question, definitely not a Terry question.
Morkoths. They are
More goths the better, if
blind.
you ask me.
They're the blind merman thing, I think.
This is a test, isn't it? We don't know the answer.
What book are they in there, Adam? They are in Volos. I have never played with Morkoths. Ever. I've never seen them in a game. Those are something completely new to me.
I don't know anything about Morkoths, but I will look them up. They're not pretty enough for my liking, but
I know nothing about them either. Hold on, here's a quick breakdown, guys.
I'm more of a
One sec.
Medusa, evil elf type person.
My knee-jerk reaction there is that they are Tamatoa from the Disney movie.
Lion King.
No.
Peter Pan.
No, with Dwayne Johnson.
Oh, shit, Wall-E.
Welcome to the jungle.
I mean, yes. Also, horribly no, Adam.
Okay.
Freaking Moana.
Was he in that?
Jamaica.
I've never seen it. Man, I don't have kids. Why
Yeah,
would I
no,
see
it was my life for a year and a half.
Okay, all right. Enough of your life. Nobody cares. So we've got challenge rating 11. Okay, so they're spellcasters. They've got a nasty multi-attack. 3 attacks, 2 with a bite and 1 with its tentacles, or 3 with its bite. It can hypnotize people. It has lair actions, regional effects, and as a reaction has spell reflection, which is unique. Let me give this a shot. If it makes a successful saving throw against a spell, or a spell attack misses it, the Morkoth can choose another creature, including the spellcaster, that it can see within 120 feet of it, and the spell targets the chosen creature instead.
So, Kane Moorwind wants to use these as an evil sea witch. Use these stats as an evil sea witch. I like it.
You know what?
I mean, there's hags. Just use a hag.
Okay, yeah, and there are sea hags, as a matter of fact.
There are sea hags,
But because of the tentacle thing, this has got a real Little Mermaid feel.
Oh
Ursula?
Yeah, the Ursula from
okay,
the
I
Sea
get it.
Witch, right? So
Yeah.
what are the spells?
Oh, I just watched Little Mermaid 2 the other day. Ursula's sister, mega hot. Go on, Adam.
It's cartoon, Terry.
Okay.
Chain lightning, scrying, dimension door, Evert's black tentacles, lightning bolt, dispel magic, shatter, detect thoughts, darkness, witch bolt, shield, detect magic, and acid splash, mage hand, mending, ray of frost, and shocking grasp.
It's Ursula.
That's yeah.
Yeah, no, it's Ursula. Yeah,
But it doesn't look like it. It looks like a terrifying parrot squid.
Like a sea Medusa.
no, I'm
terrifying parrot squid, yeah.
Yeah, it's
I'm
a terrifying
on board.
parrot squid.
I'm on board with these things. Like, I would love to
I
see
love
these.
them.
I'm kind of upset that we played a river campaign and never saw one. Like, but
I'm
I mean,
upset
they're-
that I didn't know this existed.
Yeah.
I'm so ready to DM again, except I don't have enough time in my life, so I've got a one-shot. So I might one-shot some Morkoths in.
Interestingly, it only has 2 layer actions, so it's going to go back and forth on these, right? On initiative count, it uses its hypnosis action, which I'm assuming is hypnosis.
look into my eye.
Yeah, or it casts darkness, dispel magic, or misty step.
Wait, this is Undersea.
Adam's too drunk.
He's either too drunk or not drunk enough. It's one of the two.
Oh no, it's the second one. So yeah, this is an interesting one.
I like these.
Yep, that's cool. I'm going to play with these. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Yeah, no worries.
Chain _Morewind.
T-Money, you're next.
T-Money. Well, I'll roll,
Right,
on the,
initiative, not.
I'll roll on the
gotcha.
black table.
Roll on the black table. That's a 3. I'll read it for you.
Read it to me.
At Dat Boy Cap.
What?
At
The boy cap.
At Dat
what?
Boy Cap asks, do you think D&D is a good thing to start playing young to stimulate creativity?
The answer to that could not be anything else other than yes. Absolutely. I think even if you struggle with creativity, if you're a logical thinker, D&D is the perfect thing to exercise the creative side of your mind. Mm-hmm. Or even the other way, if you're a creative mind, it actually exercises my logical thinking and my tactical side and my strategic side of my brain, which I avoid at all costs. So
There have been many studies that say like the rapid math that you have to learn how to do,
like the arithmetic.
and the creative narrative improv around a table are incredibly beneficial for young developmental minds. I've been reading a lot into this right now because I'm planning on putting together a campaign for my kindergartners.
Oh, really?
So I'm dipping their toes into it, and they've told me that they really want to play. Nora wants to play a centaur, and Gwen wants to play a dragon princess knight ninja. I haven't figured out exactly which one yet. Probably all 5 of those things. So
Sure.
yeah, but like
Merida.
it super helps with the math because now they have to when you're going to school and learning basic arithmetic, and then you're going home and you're playing Dungeons and Dragons and you're rolling a d20, and now you have to add 5 to whatever number pops up there, right? Like you're challenging your brain to get used to that all the time. There are many different types of dice you're putting in. Like there's many different. Yes, the answer to the question is yes.
Yeah. It also teaches you conversation skills and to adapt to personalities because the characters are different, which is often what people can't do. People will often expect other people to adapt to them, just subconsciously.
Yeah.
But it teaches you to adapt to other people.
I've played at tables where people are still expecting people to adapt to them, but still, no, you're right.
I'm gonna flip it a little bit because I agree with everything you guys said because I'm drunk, but I would say that it would be an amazing tool for people with autism to learn social cues. There's a lot of role playing involved, and you can describe how people are reacting and see patterns involved and whatnot. I think this would be a great tool. D&D would be an amazing tool for people with social disabilities.
It also, what's funny you brought that up,
Like
because it also heavily includes...
No, I do. Yeah, I have an anxiety disorder. Yeah.
Because it also, it's just when I said it was funny. It's laugh or cry in this world, all right?
Like Dan.
But it I do agree with you, Adam. It would help for all those things. But touching on that point, it also has a strong sense of routine as well.
Yeah.
You know? And I think that would help a lot.
And it also bears with that little bit of responsibility building as well, because you're responsible for keeping the table going, responsible for making sure you're there on time and following that bit of the schedule as well. Like this, it's a wonderful developmental tool.
Like dice.
Full stop. Adam's going with a natural 20.
I got a natural 20.
Terry, you want to read that to him?
It's Skip. Alexander, another Skip Davis, asks, he DM'd me recently. I think it was him. I'm pretty sure it was
He
him.
direct messaged you. He didn't dungeon master you.
He didn't dungeon master
You have
me.
to be very specific.
Except I'm never on Instagram anymore, so like 4 weeks later I read it and then just seemed very rude. So, sorry Alexander, another Skip Davis. Role-playing or role-playing? Fuck off. What does that mean?
Okay, all right.
Role
I think you know you
playing
knew this question last
or
time.
role playing.
So the idea of this, for those of you that can't read it, which is everyone, role playing is spelled ROLL playing, like you're rolling dice, and the other one is role playing, like
Oh, so it's like math or role-playing.
So it's like tactics versus
role playing. Which one do we like better?
Oh, okay. Well, it was your...
I mean,
you go first.
role playing for me.
Fuck off, Adam.
Is it role playing or role playing, Adam?
Yeah.
Role playing. Yes.
You goddamn right. No. I like the social encounters more than anything else because you guys know me. I like words.
Yeah.
And I've got an acting background, and I like to get in characters' minds. And I'm excited because I'm gearing up to be a player in a D&D session or in a campaign, which has a limited time frame on it. Like, we know it's going to be a certain number of sessions, and I'm excited to step in and do that. But it feels very limiting and handcuffing now, and it's more as excited as I am. I'm
Because
like,
you only get to be one character.
yeah, and, what do I do with this, right? And I have to sit still and listen to other people.
So you're like, that wasn't me, that was Patricia.
For me, I do like the escapism found in a tactics focused game because you're just playing a narrative video game with your friends at that point, right?
Right.
Just playing out in your heads instead of on a screen. And I like the escapism that's found there because it's just, all right, we're murdering these goblins. All right, now we're moving on. Now we're murdering these bugbears.
I have video games for that.
I understand you got video games for that, but
Is this a classic Christian repression thing? Because I come across this a lot.
I mean, it
How
very
many
well could be.
how many repressed Christians do you hang out with?
No, just pay attention.
At
to
least two. There's Dan and Brad.
But
That's right, Brad. We're coming for you.
But
That might be coming for you.
I would like to say that since joining Adam's campaign 3 years ago, however freaking long ago that was,
Pretty much.
Since joining Adam's campaign 3 years ago, I've really fallen in love with role playing
Adam.
with an E. No, I've just grown to hate you more. But the one thing that it does is it definitely is far more stressful to play a character and then like actually having to make character decisions that aren't even remotely the tactically sound decisions. As a person who has played a very tactical oriented game for many years.
But tacticals.
It was a hard switch to hit, but very fulfilling when I finally got into the swing of things.
Yeah.
And I would actually like to say I think you helped even more than Adam did with that, Terry.
With what?
With me getting into the role playing
I wish
side
I'd
of
listened
things.
to your answer now.
How many times you said that to me when I was DMing you?
With the roleplay side.
With the role playing side,
glad.
because
You gave Dan a foil, someone to bounce off of.
yeah, you gave me someone
didn't-
who
I
I
gave him
knew
the
would role
challenge, but
play
you gave him
just as hard back to me as I role played at them.
Oh, it's
and
fantastic.
at my tactics table, there's no one I could do that with. So even if I'm sitting down as the DM, which I've started DMing that group again, it's incredibly trying when I'm like, okay, guys, here's the consequences of your actions.
Yeah.
No, they don't want to care. They don't care about the consequences of their actions. It's like, yeah, but you hurt the sheriff's feelings. Now he wants to talk about his feelings with you. It's like, no. Oh, you knocked that fat halfling bartender off the bar and broke his arm? Well, he's sad with you now.
D&D is not a therapy group. It should be therapeutic, but not therapy,
Yes.
Dan.
Yeah. Well, no. I'm not saying it's therapy. I'm saying that there are consequences to the murder hopeless
Your
fucking
NPCs
actions.
now
Okay.
have personalities. and
They have
feelings.
more personalities, right? And I'm like, talk to this guy. It'll be fun. And they're like, is he telling it to me as I stab him slowly? No? All right, moving on. I'm like, guys. So, anyways, Terry, you helped because you were someone who I could bounce ideas off of. And sometimes they fell completely flat, like Lockie's original accent. And other times they were fantastic, like playing Titus versus Rezu on a bunch of things, where Titus was very kind of gung-ho, heroic knight, and Rezu was, I've done that. It didn't go well for me. I'm a little bit more reserved and pulled back. And the dynamic that our two characters had was horribly unexplored, but also
It was a lot of fun when it
was a lot of
did
fun
come
when it
out.
was coming
Yeah,
out.
and I think actually, because I love the role-playing side as well. Obviously, I dive, balls first into it. But
Your tacticals.
tacticals. And I remember the thing with the accent you brought up, where you talked about it before, where it was hard for you to try that. But because in my mind, I just go balls to the wall and don't think about it. Even when the accent was going wrong, I was like thinking I'm like celebrating it with you. Like, that didn't work, did it? Like, whatever. It doesn't matter. But because you forget that for other people, it's very hard. Like, so they might be like, oh my God, I just humiliated myself. But I'm like, it doesn't fucking matter. I'm going to be Scottish now. Like, just like, cause I don't. So for me, it's like I'm never really making fun of people. I'm more just making fun of the situation.
Yeah, you're celebrating the ridiculousness of the scenario.
Yeah, because I worked with a guy a few years ago. He's actually an idiot, but he said one good thing one time, which is if you
What's his name? First and last. And address, please.
He's also a fan of the podcast. Thanks for listening.
His name is actually Jamie, not our good friend Jamie in Australia. No,
okay, no.
Not now.
Wink, wink. Why are you winking?
Not now. Not now. Australian probably talks weird, Jamie. But another
He always talked weird.
No, but I bet he's got that almost Australian accent.
Like,
He probably
almost
sounds
Canadian.
drunks.
Yeah, but he said it. He said you can get away with anything if you throw enough confidence at it. And Dan, you're being very rude.
Yeah, Dan.
Adam broke me. I'm sorry.
Oh wow, shit! Drunk Adam's never allowed to come back. Look at him, man. Just shows up. He's like, I'm kind of drunk. We're like, because Adam's usually the most prepared person ever. We're like, what? You can't be. This is impossible.
No. You have to be the one that
We have
anchors
Mailbag.
this
You
shit.
need to anchor us. But he said if you throw enough you'll get through anything if you throw enough confidence at it. And that's kind of the way I do role playing. Is like nobody can ever say I'm stupid for doing it because I'm so confident in it that I just fucking leave. Like, but to say that, what's the time that everybody celebrates the most? When it's numbers. When you get that nat 20. When you get 62 points of damage. When you're rolling 12 dice.
That is when the entire table explodes.
Yeah, exactly. So, role-playing as a character for me is my favorite part, but I couldn't go without the math and the numbers because that's the part that excites people.
Cool. I'm gonna roll next.
Sure.
I got the white dice. 8.
All right, Dan, I'm going to read it to you. Mailroom slave Brad. What the hell?
That's his new title. You missed that. He's Mailroom Slave Brad.
So letter bitch Brad says
Mailroom
We already
slave
have coffee,
Brad
bitch,
asks,
Dave.
okay.
favorite official D&D setting? Dan, you get to answer first, as per the rules of initiative.
I have a very special place in my heart for Greyhawk, being one of the playing a lot in 3.5.
Can you tell us
and
why?
specifically out of Greyhawk? It was Gary Gygax's it was his world that he built, and built out from there. And a lot of the original D&D modules were written heavily implied, if not directly put inside of Greyhawk.
It sounded like you said Scary Guy X when you said that.
Gary Gygax. Okay. But in recent years, honestly, playing in Adam's little homebrew shit, I know it's kind of pandering to the drunk guy across the table, but
Hello.
Wait. Continue.
the
You'll have to swallow it.
My tacticals.
the amount of work Adam put into really building this world before we got into it, things like actually writing a Bible and putting a lot of depth and thought into the pantheon and how the world works and how the world's now being disrupted by the fact that magic is being forcibly injected into it through portals. Like it's a very interesting little world, and I've been devouring it for 3 years, and now every single time I run a little one-off, I'm like, hey Adam, can I put this in your world? And he's like, fuck yes, okay, 1 second. Here's a list of 5 places I will allow you to play with.
Yeah, it will not directly affect. And this is the year you can do it.
Yeah, this is the year you could do it, and here's how this has to end. Which, I mean, is not as chaining as it sounds. It's usually like
Well, every module is like that, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
here's your location that you
one
have
thing
to go
has to get away, or
Yeah.
one item must be attained, or something like that, right?
And and that's really what it is. Is hey, you can play with this. I need if there are 10,000 gnolls in here, I need at least 3 to get away.
Yeah, exactly. So I've been really enjoying it and devouring it, and I'm kind of sad that I haven't been able to. We've been so insular with what we have been playing in, with our own our character problems, that we haven't been able to deal with the world problems, and I want to get back to dealing with the world problems. But yeah, that's me.
Me next.
Yep, is you.
Wait, am I?
What's your
answering this
favorite
question?
world?
Oh,
Are you drunk?
yeah, maybe. I've only had one of these Coors Lights.
Left over from when my relatives from Alberta were
Tastes
here.
like sparkly piss. Probably, I'm really getting into Eberron right now. The whole steampunk thing. I didn't know too much about it, but we talked about it before, and I was like, God damn, I think I really like that. And it was giving me all kinds of crazy ideas that I thought I was going to maybe put into a Call of Cthulhu campaign, that now I'm like, no, will actually probably work better in Eberron, because you can get a little bit more ridiculous with it.
I would encourage, and a lot of people do this, don't focus so heavily on just steampunk. It's also heavily clockwork as
Right.
well, and they're both of them.
And I think that'd be great.
It's also high adventure though. Like it's dinosaurs on Volcano Island.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So all of that.
It's very like 1920s, 1930s pulp.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And I'm ready to lean right into that. You know, I've done the Forgotten Realms now a lot. I'm ready to go to my next place, and I think
I'm done with Waterdeep. I want to go to
Deep water.
I mean, yeah, he's right, isn't he?
what's the Castle of Towers? What's that? Or the City of Towers? What's that?
Sharn.
Sharn, right?
Right.
Fucking Eberron.
Okay.
You, Adam?
I like me some Dark Sun, but that's because I like He-Man. I grew up on fucking He-Man, right? Like that's what it is. It's big ass guys with big ass swords fighting back against it's sorcerers across the wasteland, right? And we come back to our one little hovel that is our civilization, and everything else beyond these castle walls is dangerous and deadly. And I've got big badass friends, and they're big badass enemies, and the world is a wasteland. And it's what the fuck is He-Man, right? The Dark Sun was the closest thing.
Yeah, what the hell even is He-Man?
Exactly.
It's like a sci-fi fantasy.
Next question.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I gotta say, I'm leaning really hard into Ravnica right now.
Really?
I keep doing
Why
some
Ravnica?
reading. It's fucking awesome. The amount of detail that they have put into the guilds and the city structure, and they've got new monsters and new stat blocks that do weird things, which is fun. And it's just got some crazy batshit insane rules to it. And I'm a big fan of it. The only thing about it that I don't like is the new playable races. I don't think it needed it.
Right.
We didn't.
I greatly dislike medium-sized minotaurs.
It's medium-sized centaurs that bother me more than anything else,
Yeah, I
right?
guess that's true, too.
That's where I draw my line. But the rest of it's fine. And if that's my only complaint, then that's fantastic.
Right.
So, I don't know. I also really like what they did with goblins. I like the fact that they've got an evil carnival of ecstatic sin. That you just get worked into a fervor. The more blood that's shed, the more ecstasy you as an audience member feel. And that's part of the carnival worked right in. That is so deliciously dark. And
Yeah.
I'm all over that shit.
I'm all right with that.
Yeah,
It's very Rob Zombie, isn't it?
it is. It's very. I expect to see Ravnica on an HBO series.
Yeah.
Right. Like that's what I want to play with. I think that'd
Be all over.
I am looking forward to Theros coming out
because of the Greek.
because of the Greek mythology, and I'm a massive mythology nerd. So like the Greek mythology, the expanded rules for divine magics and stuff like that. Like I'm on board with this. I'm really excited for that.
That'd be good. I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Right,
All right,
Terry, you're
I'm
rolling.
gonna go black again.
Well, you can't go
confident.
back, right?
What's that?
3, literally the exact same thing you rolled last time.
Yeah, that's what I do. I'm very repetitive.
That's
A
4.
4.
That's a 4. We're moving up a little bit. Pepperina Sparkle Gem. Hi, Pepperina. What's with the egg cartons on the wall? We actually never found out. Dan said it was something to do with sound. But they're not there anymore, are they? They've been there for a while, actually.
we've changed our setup a bit so that we're not talking directly into a wall, causing a lot more echo.
Yeah.
So the idea is that if you have flat surfaces, especially shiny surfaces.
Oh, you're legit just going to answer this.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Well, there was a reason. I never asked.
Yeah, the flatter the surface, the more that sound waves will bounce back, and we were getting a little bit of weird echo on the mic. So what you need to do is create texture for the sound waves to hit and get bounced in many different directions. Egg cartons are great for that shit. So softer textures and things that are weirdly textured are fantastic for that. That's why we have a freaking Afghan behind the mic now that we use. But we replaced the what?
His name is Ahmed. We don't let him leave.
He's got a bunch of weird pock marks on his face. We're using that to suck up sound.
Oh, guys.
So, and you can't blame me. I won't even remember this. So no, we've got bookshelves, and Dan moved a bunch of stuff around in the room. And there's
It
a
looks
couch.
really good now, actually. This side of the room, the north side of the room. Looks
Yeah.
phenomenal.
So it's
We definitely set one side up with some future aspirations in mind, and the other side is that'll be behind the camera.
yes.
So there's that, but
No, so it eats up sound better now than egg carton do. So those have gone away, and yeah, but that's the answer. I mean, if you look at recording studios and whatnot, they've got essentially foam versions of egg cartons.
Yeah.
yeah.
Perfect. All right. Well, that was my question.
Adam,
that was the
your
answer.
turn, buddy.
Oh, what are we doing?
You have to roll
Rolling
a
a dice.
Right. That's what I'm
Red.
doing. Right. Red.
Red.
5.
I'm DMing,
No,
Dad.
I'll
I'll friggin'
read
read it.
Fine. All right.
What number is it?
5.
5. So 1 after 4.
I can't read that. You read that.
Or 5.
But only because I told you to.
All right. So 5
I love you guys.
at Gelatinous Lub
Don't you dare. Not now.
asks, how do you like to make traveling more interesting? I.e.,
Who's
setting the
drunk
tone,
one?
describing surroundings, and setting up the encounters. So one more time, Gelatinous Club asks.
There
There's
it
a
is.
C in there. How do you like to make traveling more interesting? I.e., setting the tone, describing surroundings, and setting up the encounters. I mean, everyone could tell the first time I've read that question. So
I've got an answer for this, but Adam...
yeah, but Adam rolled the dice, so he gets to go
I
first.
know,
DM.
Dan. I just said that, but you cut me off. Okay?
You're the one coming in to the fucking podcast saying, "Oh, I don't know what I'm doing anymore." Like I'm just.
Okay, so first and foremost, not every forest is the same. Not all forests are created equally. We spend a lot of our time traveling in forests, and what you need to realize is that there are rivers, there are cliffs, there's grassland and clearings, and there's all sorts of different things that you can do in any given forest. And when you realize that, you can create random tables of things to come upon, not random tables of combat, but random tables of social encounters or environmental hazards. Something as simple as a bridge has washed out and there's a raging river. What do you do?
Yeah.
Right?
Random tables, when they say, should we take a long rest? Roll a random table so you can determine where you are.
Not even. I just go around the table. I say, guys, roll this number of dice. Tell me what your total is. That's how many hours pass before you hit the next thing.
Yeah.
Or days, depending on how. I mean, and that's the other thing too. Is whatever it is, however long they're traveling. If they're going to be traveling for 100 days or 2 days or 6 hours, whatever it is, I divide that by 8 and expect I'm going to get 8 random encounters. But then I leave a whole bunch of blanks on the table, on the random table, to say, hey, nothing happened, you're fine.
Yeah.
Right? So there are 8 instances, you won't actually hit 8 random encounters.
Right.
It's a really cool mental exercise for DMs who kind of have.
Sorry, I'm going to cut you off. The reason I said 8 is because I have 4 players. So
Yeah.
everybody gets to roll twice.
Right.
So that's it.
So it's a really interesting mental exercise for DMs who kind of understand what their plot is, and now your players are getting from point A to point B, and you need to fill that time. It's a really great mental exercise to sit down and be like, okay, so on a D20 list, we want to have 3 things be combat, 3 things be exploration, 3 things be role play, and we're going to build all of those based off of what they roll, what challenge rating, where their location, their geography, all that other stuff is. It's a really interesting little mental exercise, or even just an exercise for a GM to do, to come up with fun and interesting ideas. And you'll often find, and this is something that I do when I run random encounters, which is how I make travel time more interesting, is I do kind of the same with Adam, where I'll let the players roll it so they feel like they have a little bit more agency as well. They're like, oh, I rolled this, so it must be something that we're doing. But at the same time, it's also something that I have put enough of a intriguing aspect to it where the players could take with that thing and run with it. So, case in point, right now I'm running White Plume Mountain, and I've had 2.5 full sessions, and they haven't even started page 1 of the module yet. Because it's been getting from point A to point B, and then they got distracted by a bunch of Yuan-Ti in the forest, right? So,
yeah, but the problem with that is you're derailing. And if you know that you're going to run a certain number of sessions... so I hear what you're saying. I want to build on it.
But one sec. The one thing I would say to protect against derailment, make it something that is a closed loop. It is a bubble of an encounter that is there, right? No matter what... it's going to be quote-unquote resolved within the random encounter.
See, my response to that is it doesn't even have to be if it all leads toward the goal. If you know what your plot is, if you know that everybody in red capes are the bad guys, right, and whatnot, you keep finding evidence of these red caped bandits fighting, or there's a cape that's been nailed to a tree that says no trespassing beyond this point, stuff like that, so that you're always building into that direction.
Right.
When you run across an NPC in the road that's a refugee, later run across their overturned cart that got, destroyed by bandits. And then further back, you find their village and have each one of these quote-unquote random encounters build up to whatever it is. You're going to the kingdom to help the people, show the people needing help on the way. And you have random things that are drawn up on a table. So you're not sure what it's going to be, but it all fits the same theme and all points to the same plot. So therefore, it doesn't need to be closed.
Yeah.
Right? And they can get interested in it because that'll draw them into the plot.
Yeah, my answer leans right into yours there, Adam, which is when I talk to people about travel, you taught me this, always get into the reason why. And people will ask, well, how do you make travel interesting? How do you do this? How do you do that? And I determined that the reason they're asking me is because they assume that it is boring or they assume that it is not the game. So basically they're saying, how do we make travel interesting while we're on the way to the game, essentially? When we're on the way to this point that I've decided will be interesting.
Yeah, fuck that. You're playing the game now, bitches.
Playing the game now. The game is not, we start in the village, but when we get to the next town, that's when we start again. It's already happening along the way. And exactly what you just said there, Aaron, there's evidence of the threat. There's evidence of the story. There's evidence of, there's red herrings along the way. There's evidence of what a story arc that could be. You may come across evidence of angels, for example, along the way. That's not related to what you're talking about, but it could be, because that is the game. And so the question here is with regards to like setting and surroundings and things like that. Same the way that you would describe all of that when you get to the town or wherever you're heading to, which you think is the interesting part of the game. The travel is the interesting part of the game. It just gets forgotten and overlooked. And it usually comes back to a DM's preferences if they've decided that it's not interesting. Only their thing is interesting.
Red one.
Red 1. My turn to read. What number did we get?
9.
We did that already. Fuck you, Dan.
It's aggressive.
16 red.
16
We
red.
didn't do that one yet. Fuck you, Dan. Pepperina sparkled. Ooh, another pep. She gave us a bunch of questions. I tried to sprinkle them around, but we're just going to keep running into them, apparently.
You
Peps?
say you like lightly peppered them throughout the...
Peps says, changelings are gender fluid and become any medium humanoid race, meaning they can grow various appendages and things like tails to become tabaxi. Or I guess a penis. That was me, not Peps. Well, it's probably Peps.
It was probably Peps.
If a changeling were to lose something like an ear or a hand, could they grow it back? Would they only be missing it in the persona it got cut off in, or in all personas?
And is it, well, to further that question, is it limited to that? Like, could I, if my left ear gets chopped off, could I instead remove my dick to bring the ear back? Not that they're of equal size, Dan.
I mean, I've called you Bellin for a while, but I mean, I
That's
guess
very British of you to say.
Anyways, I would say changelings have a kind of undead reptilian feel to them, in my opinion. So, like, the idea of them regrowing limbs is not too bizarre to me.
I think you should be able. I think changelings. I think you can grow your appendage back, but you just get slightly shorter.
Or
like
but by the end of it, you can only be halflings.
Yeah, like
or there's
overall mass is taken away.
Or there's just like a refractory period where like
just a bit skinnier.
Yeah, for 2 weeks you now can't grow that one aspect of your character until you had a chance to heal it naturally. Of course, a restoration spell would probably speed that up or something. A lesser restoration would speed up that clock, but
I don't like it.
I specifically for changelings,
I
would give it to them because otherwise it gets too messy in my mind.
I just say make sure you can grow it back, but you're a little bit smaller. Because if you lose a leg, Adam's right, you can only be halflings or gnomes or something, kobolds.
Okay, so I got an answer. Here's my answer. Yes, you grow it back technically, but just like a tabaxi's tail, if a changeling grows a tabaxi's tail, do they know all of the body language that comes with the tabaxi's tail? No, right? Tails are used for a lot of communication. They move in specific ways and whatnot. So I would say that sure, you lose a hand, you can grow it back. It doesn't have bones in it. It looks like a hand. That is the changeling factor here. You can pass a test, but if you've got to climb with that hand, you've got disadvantage. It's numb, right? And there's cartilage, not bone, right? And it's easily broken again.
Enough to hold like a glass of wine, but you're definitely not climbing a thing.
Exactly. So
Or punching a dude in the face.
So I would if you're choosing changeling, it's because you want the role play, so I'm going to reward you and let you have it back.
Yeah.
However, if you've lost a hand, that means that you done fucked up because that's not even in the regular rules, right? So that's something we're homebrewing anyway. So I want you to feel that punishment so there will be disadvantage on some things.
You dipped your hand into the lava to get the MacGuffin to pull it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Terry, you're next.
Am I? Oh, splendid. And red.
This red tail's getting a lot
Four.
of use.
Four.
Is that
It's another
Oh my
pepperina.
god, pepperina again, man, that's crazy. Hey, honestly, guys, I've looked around. She doesn't have that many on here, so it's pretty incredible. What is the one thing from a previous edition you wish 5e had? I started with 5e, so I don't know. Next.
Thing that I wish that it had. What do they call it? Level advancement.
That's two shit quick answers I've had in a row. It's fine.
Level advancement for monster races. All right, so what this was in previous editions was you could play a minotaur or a centaur or an orc or whatever, but they're inherently more powerful than a human, an elf, or a dwarf. So you can start playing them, but you are technically level 2 or 3 or whatever. So they would get a couple of levels in classes to catch up with your power. So if you wanted to start like a level 5 campaign and Dan wanted to be an orc, that means that you and I each get 5 levels. Dan only gets 4 because he chose orc.
Yeah.
I think that would solve a lot of the problems with the races that we're having in 5e, because there's a lot of just kind of imbalanced bullshit going on with them. There's nothing that is suffering from power creep as much as the races.
So, speaking of suffering from power creep, me as someone who's played 3.5 for as long as I did, I would like, and Adam's going to rally against this one, I would like prestige classes back.
Oh, fuck off.
The work your way into a narrative reason why you could get into this one special class that has requirements.
Bullshit.
That helps you be more specialized in one way. I really liked them.
Bullshit.
Adam clearly didn't. Now,
It's because you said there's a narrative reason, and there wasn't a narrative reason. It was a mechanical reason every fucking time.
But
no one was role-playing it properly.
but with D&D 5e being a more narrative-based system, I think prestige classes could still work in the current system as long as they made sense. Maybe didn't roll out the exact same way, but a little 10-level class that you could take before you go back to your base class. You've got multi-classing in there. There's no reason why you can't. So I would like to see prestige classes, and there's one more thing.
Hold on. I'll meet you part way. Okay, I don't like prestige classes. But what about, you know how you get a background, right? And then you choose urchin or whatever, and that's your background. And then you play for like 10 fucking levels, and you've gone 6 years in game order. You're not an urchin anymore. Maybe you should get prestige backgrounds, or you can work up into different backgrounds to get additional skills or languages or whatever.
Make backgrounds more fucking important in the game.
I think
because they're not.
Or they could evolve somehow.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not thinking this really logically all the way through, but I feel like the answers in background are not prestige classes to get what you want.
I'm with you. And then as a spiritual successor to 3.5, I would love to have the combat maneuver rule set from Pathfinder put in.
Boo.
I know, Adam. Yeah, boo
Boo,
again.
you're
But
Pathfinder.
it made
So what was involved with that?
it
Briefly,
was a single stat or defense. It was basically another AC that you can use specifically for things that they call combat maneuvers, which are like your grapples, your bull rushes, your trips, your disarms, things like that. There is no hard and fast disarm rule unless you're playing a battle master, right?
I'm pretty sure there is.
I think it's just counter athletics rules
No, it's athletics. It's usually athletics versus
athletics
or
acrobatics.
acrobatics.
Right.
But I think that you don't need to do... Here's what I would say. I would say, again, we don't need an additional number that needs to be tracked. Put it on the skill chart.
I would say this is a probably another save chart or something, like another save like base saving throw or something as well.
Well,
right? I want to see, how about this? I want to see more combat maneuvers blank. I don't care how they do it, but I want to see more people around the table go, oh, I want to trip that dude. Or I want to disarm
why are we
him.
not trying to disarm the wizard from his staff? You know?
Yeah, right?
Well,
Staff and the wizard.
that's the thing where I have fucked up my parties more times than I can count by picking you up, walking to you a ledge, and letting go.
Yeah.
Right? And that's it. And I can do that with grapple. There's nothing else to it. So I hear what you're saying, that you would want, like, maybe an opposing strength check for every 5 feet moved. Or something.
But then if you have a giant moving a gnome, like you have it, they're rolling for the 40 feet the giant moves the gnome. I mean, the gnome's going to have a disadvantage because the size different. Sure. Like, I want to see a system in place that makes sense, is not unbalancing. Right? But that's my answer to that one.
Yeah, I mean, it is a weak point in 5th edition. I still think that you could probably clean it up with skills. Skill versus AC. You do you pump ranks into, you put your proficiency into being able to disarm someone. I think the proficiency mechanic exists, and we should use it towards that.
Yeah, no,
and so,
okay, I'm with you.
So I would say strength or dex, because your AC is dex and armor based anyway.
Yeah.
Right? So your dex is worked into it. So if I want to disarm you, then I've got to beat your dexterity and how armored you are, right? With a athletics and acrobatics, sleight of hand maybe for a disarm.
Maybe just
right?
some extra things on the character sheet. You choose skills, just lean away saying skills. Okay, you choose 2 skills, choose whatever, and you choose 1 combat maneuver that you are proficient in.
Right, the same way that you would pick kits.
Right.
Which will be beneficial in only some scenarios with this specific skill. Yeah. So I think the answer lies in there, but I don't have the specifics.
Yeah. And I just have one more thing to add in, is if we're injecting new mechanics and stuff in, I want to see something else done with hit dice. I want to see hit dice utilized in another way other than, okay, you spend them at a short rest and get them back at a long rest. Done.
Mm-hmm. Right. You get half back at a long rest. We just hand wave that at the table.
But like, I want to see something like that actually utilized in multiple ways, either as inspiration or whatnot. I've read other ways. I don't care, but I want a hard and fast rule. So
okay,
that's me. I rolled that question. It's your turn.
Oh,
Terry.
it's me. Oh, goodness, white.
I'll read this one for you, buddy.
17, please, Dan.
At Bonavie.
You sure?
No.
This is our Italian listener.
Bonavie Danielle.
Hello.
Asks, what's your opinion on a PC infiltrate? Someone who
Danielle.
Someone who actively works inside the group to forward the objectives of the big bad evil guy, or of somebody else who are not the PCs, as in a doppelganger, changeling, intellect devourer, and such.
What is
but
that?
Also a classic spy, by or loyal to someone else. So how do you feel about having a double agent in your party?
Yep.
Basically?
This says Bona via Danielle, of which I have.
I get it.
Bona via Danielle?
But it's Italian. That could be a dude's name. Danielle could be.
Well, when in Rome! When in Rome, Dad!
Yeah. Oh, I get it, because Rome's in
Italy.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Anyways,
history books.
answer the question, Terry.
Infiltrators. Yeah, look, just do it right and do it well, and just make sure that this is a very quick way to piss off your players. If they feel like you're being unfair with it, so if you're doing an NPC or even PC, if for some reason someone's like, hey, this doesn't seem right, give me an insight check. They don't automatically know nothing because it's part of your plot, because later on they'll be like, fuck that. They may be like, yeah, he is acting suspicious, or he's tapping his hand a little bit more than he did, or it was clear when he was tugging on your shirt that he did not want you to go into that room that you'd all decided previously that you wanted to go in. You got to play fair with it.
So how do you do that if one of the other players at the table is that guy?
That is what stats are for. That is what your abilities are. Insight versus perception. Or insight versus investigation, or deception, or like whatever it is that you're using, whatever skills, they're there, they exist. Roll off.
Yeah, and I think if you're going to have this PC infiltrator, it needs to be somebody experienced who the DM can trust, because if we're rolling off, Dan, and you're the infiltrator, it's going to be too obvious if the DM starts describing how you're acting. It's up to you, if I roll the 14 or whatever, 17, let's say I roll fairly high, to decide how much information you give me. And you need to be fair and accurate with it. So I think it can be done, but you got to be careful with it. I think it'd be very fun as well.
Yeah.
I'm talking specifically PCs here. NPCs, it's easy enough, right? The DM's controlling it.
It's definitely not something you let a new player do. Unless the entire party is new players.
Because players, typically, new players have to learn the etiquette and the expectations of the game. They may go in the adversarial, or they may think, my job is to trip you up. And so it doesn't matter if you roll 22 on Insight. I'm not telling you, dude, because I'm not supposed to, So it needs to be an experienced, fair player that not only the DM can trust, everybody could trust if they knew what they were doing.
As for tips for how to do this, if it's an NPC, I only really have two of them. Slow roll it. Have that character build trust over time before you start hinting that they're a double agent. If you start hinting way too early, your party will jump on it, and there goes that plot thread for you.
Yeah.
Right? So I would definitely have it be slow rolled that way. And then the second thing I would suggest is do it once in a campaign. Don't do it twice or more. Because if you do it once and the party finds out, they are now going to be looking at every single person with a
the paranoia is huge.
The paranoia will shoot through the roof.
The way I did it once. When I did it in Strahd with an NPC, is I had the NPC act like he didn't trust the players. And he was like, no, I want to get away from you guys. Fuck you guys. It's right when you guys fought the zombie horde going up the mountain.
Yep.
You guys met, I think it was a gnome or halfling or something. And,
fucking gnomes.
And he was like, no, I don't trust you. I'm trying to get away. And they were trying to catch up. Then by the end of it, the party was like, no, come on, dude. We're your friends. You can trust us. Everything's good. Then eventually he was like, all right, fucking fine. And obviously it was Strahd. But the way I did it is just flipped it.
Cool.
Yeah, look.
You've been on both sides of this coin.
I have been the infiltrator in one of Dan's campaigns. It was a lot of fun, although I think that nobody in that group will ever trust me as a player again. and that's what you have to worry about.
Even if it's not the same campaign.
If you come back with another character, you need to have a different DM, right, for them to trust you again. And that's all it comes down to, right? The paranoia is through the roof, and that's all it is. I'm going to say that if you want to include someone that is going to infiltrate and betray the party, and I'm all for it, do not have that person be the first NPC they run into and befriend. Because if they do, every NPC after that will get... You will turn them into murder hobos.
Yeah.
You will turn them into thieves if you do this, right? If you have a long campaign that runs 20 levels, you can introduce an NPC level 8 and have them betray them at level 10. It's a plot point. But if it's that friend from the very beginning... you had better have that be the thing that happens in the last session, right? The long con, the full game.
Yeah.
And the other thing I would say is you'd also better establish in your world the idea of unreliable NPCs. NPCs with bad ideas or that have selfish motivations. And I do that with Dan all the time. we have one session left to go in the campaign. Are the hags on your side or not?
Oh, no, they're not.
Aren't they?
No.
Didn't they set you up to succeed?
Yes.
How very fey of them to do this.
So, but that's just it. Like, I have been playing the are they good, are they bad over and over and over again, and I like the infiltrate, as we'll call it.
How's Morgan? Just ask him. Just wonder.
Powerful.
Pretty good, very powerful. And no, I would keep the infiltrate. I like playing them as a higher power that you cannot fuck with as the party, right? So that you are always like, oh god, is a warlock's patron good or bad?
Yeah.
Right? Do we really know? Because it's an archfey.
Yeah.
Oh fuck, I don't know, man. It could go either way.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't know. That's.
Yeah, and just to touch on what you said real quick, guys, because a lot of it's new DMs that maybe make this mistake. They have all these ideas, all these things they can do. This shopkeeper can backstab them later on, even though they met me in the first town. Some NPCs some shopkeeps, guys, are just shopkeeps. Their name's Gareth. They've been in love with the same girl since they were 12 years old. They have no interest in ever leaving the town.
She's banging Gareth's dad, though. It's weird.
She's definitely banging Gareth's dad. But Gareth can just be Gareth. He doesn't need to be Gareth the secret.
He's kind of sad, Gareth. But
he doesn't have to be Gareth the secret vampire, does he?
No, but he is putting a hit out on his dad.
Because he's not hitting his girl, is he, Dad?
Nope.
Next question.
Red.
11.
I'm going to read my own thing.
How dare you?
Nick._.long asks, fight to the death between the three of you. Who's winning and how?
Oh, see? Here we go. Now, if it was going to be brute strength and force, Dan is going to beat me in this.
You think so?
I think so, yeah.
Your muscles are more trained than mine.
It depends on how big the room is. Terry's going to be faster. Dan and I can't run.
That's true. And I will leg kick your knees so fast you won't know what day of the week it is. So I need to control the distance. But it's just the fact that it's just you know what?
But you got all that. You got all that lovely hair to grab and just pull you around.
And it's not tied back right now.
No.
But if there was weight classes, you're going to be
weirdly turned on.
And Adam just gets weirdly turned on at the most inappropriate moments.
But I'm also, with this type of stuff, just even D&D, I'm just the dirtiest fighter ever. And so I will, if it was
Terry will straight up tickle your taint in a fight.
Well, I'll stab this pencil into your trachea.
My tacticals.
I'll stab this pencil into your trachea and I'll go for your knees immediately. But that's because I don't know how to fight. And so
I would argue that stabbing a pencil into someone's trachea and going for their knees is a method to fight, and thus you know how to fight. Now, I've done some martial arts, but that's just because I'm a nerd and thought that doing karate in high school would be cool.
Not karate. Choose a better one.
I went with karate. That should speak very, very, very highly of my fighting skills. I never got into very many fights. So Adam's easily unhinged.
Adam's drunk
so
right now,
thus
so
unpredictable.
Adam's not going to feel pain. Right?
So thus unpredictable. Honestly, in a fight to the death, I say I go down first, Terry goes down second.
That's hot.
I don't know, man.
I don't know, Dan, because it depends on the reasons, man. Because I think you're going to pull out that. I think you're going to pull out that giant strength. I do.
And I'll be honest. You guys have both in physicality. You guys have outclassed me on that. The question is, will I get the opportunity to talk?
Yeah, that's true.
Because if I can talk, I will throw you off your guard.
Yeah.
And then suddenly, because Dan, if the two of us team up together, we can take Terry.
Yeah, the second
and now
you try
everything is fucked.
Yeah, see, the second you try to pull that crap, I'm like, hell no, because then it'll just be me and you.
Right.
No. Yeah, but Terry, you see what he's doing?
I do. Yeah.
You don't. So that's the thing.
So really, any one of us can win.
What Adam's saying is if he just gives me 2 seconds to take my attention off him to focus on whether or not it would be a good idea, he can stab me in the neck with the pencil, which is between us.
But I wouldn't. I would let you take out Dan, and then I would ask you about your father, and I would let you jam it through your own fucking eye socket.
The point
is,
just
by having a therapy session.
In this room right now, especially with the position I'm in, where you two are both blocking the exits, and
there's a very tiny window.
I can't get out without going past either one of you. I'm at a significant disadvantage.
There's also 2 knives within reach of me right now.
I would have to turn it into a cardio battle. And if it was we were forced to fight to the death, I would just go Zombieland and I would run continuously around a parking lot until you two couldn't run anymore. And then I would stab you both. And
Yeah, but we're not zombies. We're not just going to chase you around in circles.
I'm not going to win off skill, is my point.
Okay.
I'm not going to win off skill.
You're going to win off fitness. I'm going to win off brutality. And Adam's going to win off wit.
Yeah, that's basically how we live our lives.
All right, cool. Yeah.
No, we all lean into our strengths. I like it.
All right. Oh, hey, my turn. I'm going to go with the the rarely rolled black one. What do we got here? 5. Oh, hey, we didn't get that one. Read that one, Terry, you son of a bitch.
Gara Kelly 202.
Damn it.
Sup, Kelly. What's the best way to stay motivated and focused on working on a campaign?
Oh, I am the wrong person to ask this fucking question.
Well, I'll go first.
Well, here's what I'll say. If you have,
I won't.
If you have multiple
Apparently
campaigns,
you're not going to go first.
if you have multiple campaigns, have them all do the same thing. So you're planning like one session.
Wrong.
Well, I've done it.
I know, and it's messy.
I would say, you can't stay motivated if you do the same thing all the time.
No, honestly, it's all about scheduling your time well, which I don't do well. I have a lot of things which I put above myself in my day-to-day grind, aka wife and children. So
I let them know that you call them a grind.
they would acknowledge and accept.
I'm gonna say bye, Shanna. Dan said something about grinding. Bye.
Oh, this is the grindhouse. I'm sorry.
Where haven't we done it?
Yeah.
Oh, this is
Victory for Dan!
okay.
Well, Dan dies
Anyways,
first.
so I'm honestly the wrong person to ask this. I struggle with motivation daily. So, and like, I had to tell a person on Instagram this the other day where it's like, look into things that you find inspiring. Something that is D&D adjacent in terms of media you could read or watch or listen to, and straight up pilfer pirate those ideas.
Yeah. Well, I'll say because it's what's the best way to stay motivated and focused, which implies to me that Kelly, what's up, Kelly?
Methamphetamines.
Is losing focus and motivation. This is the problem that nerds have. Is nerds, we nerd out. We burn out. We go tunnel vision, balls to the wall. That's all we can think about. Oh, I'm tired. I can't do it anymore.
You talk about balls a lot.
I do talk about balls a lot.
Continue.
What I think
projecting.
is D&D needs to be something that you look forward to. It needs to be something which you're excited to get to. If you let it consume you too much, you get burnt out and you get tired. If you're taking on too much. So I think you need to schedule your time in that this is my 2 hours to do my DM prep before I get to my next scheduled thing in the day. Okay? I schedule this Wednesday night with you guys most of the time. I schedule this because I look forward to that in my week. What I don't like is when we sit here for 9 hours and do this. Right? So, and that I think is what this person is saying, is how do I stay motivated? Look forward to it and do it less, in all honesty. And if you're not running a campaign that you enjoy, don't run that fucking campaign anymore. Because why are you doing something that you don't enjoy? Dan, what did you think of that answer?
There are a couple key points I'd be like,
Which was do it less.
Well,
manageable chunks.
No, I am on board with the idea. If it is overwhelming the amount of work you want to put into doing a campaign right, then do that campaign less. Go to every other week. It's not that big of a deal.
It's like when you have too many threesomes. After a while, you just get sick of it.
Combine them and have a sixsome.
I think that is a false statement, and that's called an orgy.
My math is
dude,
wrong.
there's
My
apps
math
for
is
this.
wrong. You're in both. So it'll be a
Dude, there's apps
fivesome.
for this now. It's super easy.
I don't want to know about your...
8:41. I'll have you in a threesome by 9:16. Telling you.
No.
Yeah, I'll have you in a threesome by 8:42, my friend.
Wait, there's only 3 of us in the room. Which means
It's gonna be a grind.
Yucky. The other thing I would say is to everyone goes through writer's block. Everyone goes through times when there's going to be a little bit of struggle in creating.
Not Ed Sheeran. He just rips off other people's songs.
I mean, there is something honorable to trying to work through until you get that spark back.
Yeah.
Don't just pull the rug out or rip the Band-Aid off because you're not feeling it this week. Give it a couple weeks before you approach your players and say, guys, does someone want to take this over? And if no one wants to take it over, okay, guys, does somebody want to run their own thing? Because I'm done, right? give it some time, because there have been times in my DMing career where I have been super excited for a campaign that my players did something fucking infuriating, and I was just like, no, I'm done. I don't want to deal with these assholes anymore. I'm just done. And my motivation to prep anything just dropped off a cliff. But I was the DM, and everyone's coming over to my house on Friday. So, all right, well, I guess I'll put together a bunch of random encounters. Go ahead. And I gave it a couple more weeks, and then the spark reignited, and I got excited about the campaign again. If you're hitting that dry season, just give it a little bit of time, go through the motions, have some discipline about it in your prep times and everything else, and then hopefully you get back to it. And if not, you've then given it the time you need to come to the decision honorably. Guys, I can't keep going.
And that's all right as well. That's the thing to highlight, is that, you know, we get interesting things, we want to try things, but you may be DMing a campaign, after a while you're like, you know what, this just isn't for me. Some people are players, some people are DMs. Adam is a DM, never gets to be a player. When he does, he's not allowed to be a player anymore because he breaks it.
That's the thing I do.
Because you ruin D&D, don't you, Adam?
Oh, you wait until the next time I get to be a player.
So, Adam, you need to answer the question.
My answer is very, very simple. And understand that I DM a minimum of 10 hours a week. Usually it pushes 13. Additionally, on top of that, we've got this campaign builder series that we're running. So I'm always thinking about prep and shit for that. I'm also working on podcast related things. And I do occasional stuff, one-on-one DMing with my girlfriend as well. So I can spend 20, 30 hours a week prepping. And it just simply comes down to this. I love my players. I love the people around the table. And when I'm not feeling motivated, I just have to think about them. And that's it. And it doesn't have to be everyone around the table. It can be one person around one of the tables. It can be one person who's listening to the podcast that I'm really getting along with. That will motivate me right there to try to provide the ability for entertainment. It doesn't have to be laughs and giggles and fun times, but it is a positive social interaction.
Yeah.
And that's it. If I know that I am unmotivated this week and I'm playing a game with the two of you, I'm going to prep shit that's going to make Terry interested and that's going to blow Dan's socks off with some sort of twist, right? I'm going to...
Probably the same thing, isn't it, really?
But I know that I'm going to have an interesting combat encounter that is going to seem like all hope is lost. And then you guys will remember the blank whatever, or reinforcements will show up. But it'll be epic. I don't need to put any more thought into it than that. I don't need to remotivate myself for it. I burn out. I really freaking do. And part of the reason why Dan is going to be DMing me for like 5 months coming up here is because I need to recharge my batteries. But I'm also going to be doing the next Call of Cthulhu thing, so I'm prepping that shit. And we've got another couple of projects on the back burner, and I'm trying to get more involved in the social media thing. So there is no time off, but it's okay because I love to do it.
Yeah.
And it's not because of the activity. The hobby is great, and I love creating. But when the creativity is not enough, I think about the people that I work with and play with on a week-to-week basis. That's enough reason for me.
Well said. I love it.
That was remarkably deep.
I'm that level of drunk right now.
I was just going to say,
Wow.
Adam's that level of drunk. Next, he will be yelling, throwing things, maybe complaining about the Mexicans.
And then it'll be slurring, and there will be a bodily fluid of some sort.
All right, so
And we'll roll on a random table for that.
Great.
We might get lucky if it's only mucus.
So let's hasten this along. Grab a dice and roll it, Adam.
Oh, no, was that? I thought I did that. No, it's my turn. I'm going to pick the black one. It's the black one. What did I get?
A 3.
Boom.
We've done it.
This one sucks. It hasn't rolled above a 5 all fucking night.
17.
There we go.
Spooky_make
I guess.
asks, do you have any stories of dealing with bad DMs? Ugh.
I guess me.
Dan, you guys are both DM'd me.
Yeah.
Why does this game have to have...
You've DM'd us as well.
Okay, all right. No, the worst DM that I ever had was...
Please don't say me. Please don't say me. Please don't say me.
No, it's not you. The worst DM that I ever had, and I'm not going to call him out by name, he was more interested in the mechanics and the possibility of what could be done in D&D, that he was not paying attention to what was happening in front of him. He had an incredibly large group playing Theater of the Mind. There was a battle map up on the wall, but I spent more time on cigarette breaks talking about how I can min-max my character over the next 3 or 4 levels than I did playing my fucking character.
Right.
That's not DMing. That's theory crafting. Mm-hmm. It's fun. I like it. That's great. But that's what Reddit boards are for, right? That's what forums are for. This is what Discord is about. I don't need this. I don't need that in my daily. And I think some people do, but that's not DMing.
Right.
Be very clear. If you are spending your time saying, if you are coaching players on how to play their character, you're a fuck off shit DM. Fuck you and fuck your mom.
We've reached the next level of drunk. I thought it was going to be the Mexicans. It's bad DMs.
There we are. That's my answer. Stop playing other people's games. Yeah, I'm done. Fuck.
That's going to be a soundbite just in itself.
Yeah.
Just we need a soundboard to just hit sometimes, Dan.
No,
Can you add that to your
I've been
week,
looking.
please?
I've been looking into actually having something like that.
We absolutely need
We have
that.
to have things like me coughing and
And that one, for
Megan
sure.
burping.
Write this down of what the timestamp for this.
David
week is.
smacking his lips. Like we've been. There's a couple things we need to put in there.
I mean, well, look, for me, I haven't had too many DMs, so I haven't really had any bad DMs. I've had DMs that could have different. Yeah, I mean, you're Call of Cthulhu. That's the first time you DM'd me.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. Adam's game I was in for a long time, and it's really two games I've been in the Adam's run. So I guess the only bad DM I can say was the DM that forced me to DM by just dropping me in it with like a week's notice.
Shit.
So I didn't actually get to play the game. He just fucking bailed on me, and then I was...
That guy wasn't even a tool, man. He was like a fucking handle of a tool that broke. Because a fucking...
but that's really it. So I don't have any... I don't really have any bad DM stories. I'm unfortunate in that.
I have been playing this game long enough where I've had several bad DMs. And
all of them named.
And some of them have been. I'm dodging that question because I know some of them listen.
So now all of the people that have DM'd Dan are going, is it me? Is it me?
Yeah.
Was it me?
It's you, Brian, you motherfucker.
I actually have been DM'd by a guy named Brian.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't think he
I won the
listens.
lottery.
Anyways,
Brian with a Y?
I. It was with an I.
Brian, you can stay. Sit back down.
Yeah. So, probably the worst ones I've had in that list are the guys who are doing one of two things. They're either trying to force their politics on the party.
Ugh, I fucking hate that.
I mean, I get it. You have opinions. Dungeons and Dragons is not the place. Dungeons and Dragons is a safe place. So, if you are struggling with some things and you need to escape, it's a great thing for that. It is not the place to proselytize.
Right. I'm with you.
I've also had DMs that are, this is my story. I've had the this is my story
Oh, we're
DMs.
listening to them, their audiobook. Their novel.
Yeah. And any character who stepped even a modicum out of line and showed an ounce of free will was instantly either arrested, thrown in prison, or murdered on the spot. I've had DMs that have killed my characters inexplicably because they just didn't like my character, I guess, or how I was playing them, with a cow thrown by a hill giant or a tree falling and landing on me. And it's not the tree landing on me that killed my character. It's the puddle that I was face down in that I drowned in. Like, I've had these DMs.
Did it make a sound?
What, when the tree fell in the forest?
Yeah.
I was there, yes.
Did it sound like...
Well, the resonance, I guess, could have been, yes. But anyways, so I mean, I've had bad DMs, but I've also had some fantastic DMs who have really engineered.
Nobody cares. It was about
environments.
bad. It was about
It was bad DMs, Dan.
Fine, I was supposed to fucking compliment both of you, so I mean,
Yeah, we don't need it. We know we're good.
All right, I'm gonna go with white dice. 6.
6? Mailroom Slave Brad.
Fuck.
Who's your favorite co-host you've had on the show, Dave or Megan?
That's an intelligent question, Brad.
I'd like to have more people on the show. I would, even if it's just the three of us and them.
But we. Oh yes, yeah, no, yeah.
Wow, what the fuck was that? Yes, no, yes. No.
That was super Canada.
That's Dan
what
flirting right there.
That's why I got married. So
One, yeah.
My favorite co-hosts we've had on, Dave put in a lot of the work and prepped. Brad did as well. I mean, it was unfortunate that one time we had Brad on and we had just a fuck ton of mic issues, so it didn't come off to everyone else who listened as a great experience, but I know I had fun when we recorded it. I get along very well with Megan. So honestly, I love the new DMs.
Megan's a natural, isn't she?
She is, but she's dipped her toe into the content creator pool before.
She streams.
Yeah.
That's not a euphemism.
Is that like that sounds like a P-sex thing.
I honestly
Both of you have talked to me about P-sex today.
Yeah.
Dad did it earlier. It was weird.
We did.
Would you do it if the
No.
person was well hydrated?
The answer is no.
No, when it just comes out with
No, the
water,
answer is
though.
straight up
if
no.
If it was on them and
No,
not on you.
no. The
If it
answer
was
is
like straight water,
110%
just look like mineral water.
No, that is me getting up and walking away. That's what that is.
Oh, you're not able to get up. You're bound on your own furniture.
It's hard to do it with an erection anyway. That's what they don't understand.
I am thoroughly grossed out by this entire conversation. I'm putting a fucking into it. I was about to say, I authentically missed having you here.
It's just
but
water.
then you got into P-sex.
It's just
and I'm
warm water.
No, it's not, Terry. So I was going to say, I authentically missed you during your little vacation that you had. But now you've started talking about P-sex again. So I like Adam. Terry's the fucking one I hate the most.
No.
You got to answer the question.
Oh, I mean, I love all of these guys. Maybe I shouldn't say I love Brad just yet. I've only met him once. Brad was great.
Guys, you're doing it wrong. They tore you to shreds on the last Mailbag episode.
Dave was nice to me, actually.
Okay.
It wasn't too bad. When I saw Dave after, I was like, all right. But I'm going to be the bigger man.
Yeah, me too.
And I'm going to say, not that I've ever had a bad time with Dave, but I've just done it more with Megan, and I've never had a bad
That's your sound
time. Whenever I've been with Megan, it's been nothing short of spectacular.
That's your sound
In, bang, let's go. Everybody knows what they're doing. It's clean, it's quick, it's efficient. And we're up and we're out of there within 2 hours. And that's the way I like it. And that's what I like it for. Not a hugger, but that's all right. That's not what I'm there for.
I mean, the answer's Megan because she won the fuck, marry, kill.
What was that?
I'll go back and listen to the other one, Megan, because she won the fuck, marry, kill.
What's the other one? The other mailbag? I didn't hear that.
Mailbag 6. No, it's the one that you got torn to shreds.
I listened to the whole thing.
No. That was after the credits.
After the credits, there's a fuck, marry, kill.
Is there
for
really?
the three of us? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I just got to the end of the episode and then I just left, turned my car off or whatever.
Nope. There's a whole bunch more after the credits, Terry.
Let me download this before I go home. My car just.
You might want to listen to it in the morning when you have some time to process. You definitely do.
You'll be as drunk as I am by the end of the night.
Oh God.
All right.
My turn.
Yep.
Should I do black or red? Oh yeah.
You do you, man.
Black.
I believe in you, Terry.
Thanks, man.
It's a 17 on the black.
17. I got that last time.
12 on the black.
Nice dice, baby. Love it. Nice dice, baby. You win my favorite Instagram handle so far because some of these are fucking wank. So well done. You win. What's the best fight you've ever seen? I once saw two girls fight at school and it was nothing short of vicious, and they were both on the field hockey team, and so they had those curved hockey sticks, that kind of come back. And one bird just fucking went at the other one, slashing.
You just got super British.
One girl went at the other one, straight to the side of the
You
calf.
said the word other. It wasn't other, it was other.
Went straight to the other one. Straight to the other one. Straight to the other one. Straight to the calf. So she dropped down on her knees, grabbed her hair. They always go for the hair, and I'm conscious of that because I got long hair now. Ripped it back, and because she knew she couldn't punch that hard, she just fucking elbow smashed her in the jaw. And obviously, everyone knows you never break up a girl fight ever, but I didn't want to come between them, to be honest. It was absolutely savage. On top of it wasn't much of a fight. It was just the one girl beating shit out of the other one, and she was smaller than the other one, which I was surprised. Yeah, I was 16. It was outside Mr. Richardson's physics class. It was the fucking best thing I've ever seen in my life.
I saw a video of a lion fighting a mongoose. That was a good fight.
A lion fighting a mongoose?
Yeah, the mongoose won.
How the fuck can a mongoose beat a lion?
Because it's a fucking mongoose.
A mongoose would be fucking... They're vicious, man.
Isn't a mongoose like a little weasel thing?
Yep.
That fights snakes?
It's not quite that little, though.
It's very closely related to like a badger. But yes.
And it beat a lion.
Straight up destroyed
500-pound lion.
several lions, in fact. So I'm
gonna YouTube this afterwards.
Yeah,
Well,
you're just you see the lions like walk
look.
up to you and go, "Hey, what's this little thing?" And then it's like, "Oh no, and it's
No, you ever seen a cat that goes to pounce on something and then the thing turns around and the cat just like sketches out and runs the fuck
Oh, and they
away?
just do like the weird
Yeah,
dance.
that's what I assume was happening with the lions. And the
Yeah.
lions just kept getting close to bad at it, but the mongoose was not playing games.
Yeah.
It is here to
Yeah.
fuck you up.
Yeah.
And the lion's like, but what are you?
But the mongoose is from Boston. He's not gonna back
Yeah.
down no matter what. Yeah.
Oh, me.
Hang on, did they mean D&D, like a D&D?
No, I don't know. It just says best fight. Best fight that I ever saw, Avengers Endgame. That was a fucking epic go at the end of that.
Yeah, I just watched it recently.
When everybody, I saw it in theaters, and the first time that everybody stepped out of the portals, I'm not ashamed, I'll admit it, I had fucking tears in my eyes when they brought everyone back together.
Yeah.
When you on your left.
Oh yeah.
And then every-
I was weeping the second one you left.
Fuck! It was so emotional. That was the best, and it just kept getting better and more epic. I do not have a single complaint about that, except that more good guys should have died.
Yep.
I just feel like it's just another,
Well,
White Knight wins,
half
right?
of them did in the other movies.
But I would say no.
Captain America elevator scene. That's a pretty good fight too.
Yeah, I mean,
The Winter Soldier one. Of course.
John Wick's got some good.
Oh, John Wick from like John Wick. The first minute John Wick 1 to the last minute John Wick 3 is just gold.
say what you will about the quality of the movie, but Batman and Batman versus Superman taking out the warehouse of guys was pretty fucking badass.
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
So there, I mean, that entire, you know what I mean when I say slow motion 300. Mm-hmm. That was pretty fucking epic, right?
Just Zack Snyder. Just
Daredevil,
watch Zack Snyder.
TV series has some good fights.
Yes, yeah.
it's a
The
hallway.
stairwell
Yeah.
as well in the
Yeah.
second season.
Punisher, that's got some good ones.
No, okay, all right. I'm gonna break the mold on this. The best beatdown that I ever saw was Al Pacino in *Scent of a Woman* when he starts going on his monologue at the end.
I haven't seen it.
Fuck, man, it gives me chills. And it's *Scent of a Woman*. Sounds like a romantic comedy.
Yeah.
It isn't. It's Al Pacino at his most Al Pacino going off. Everyone talks about Nicolas Cage going crazy and doing the Nicolas Cage thing,
Pacino.
right? Or
And I'm gonna kick your ass!
yeah,
I'm gonna kick your ass!
No. He plays a blind vet who just fucking schools everybody he talks to.
Shit, because he knows weak points from like heathen animals and stuff?
No, it's all verbal. He does not lift a fucking finger, but he is by far the biggest man in the room at any given moment. It's one of my favorite movies. He's
Usually
just badass.
animal doctors are like sensitive, but... Oh. Next.
Not wrong vet.
Oh, sorry.
A veteran.
Oh,
This is
that
one that
thing
you
you
specific.
are.
Yeah, that thing you are.
Fuck.
forget. It's in another life.
That was a good Al Pacino impression, by the way.
Yeah.
I was impressed. Is it my turn? It's my turn. I decided. I don't care. I got a
2 on the white.
two on the white.
Duh.
I'll read it out here.
I'm going to mark it off with this.
Mediango
Oh,
asks,
Maddie.
heist, espionage, assassination, thinking Assassin's Creed like for 5e, can it be done?
Yeah.
Are we talking a heist like Ocean's 11 as well?
Yeah, man, all the time. I've run so many heists, so many bank vaults that have been broken into. Absolutely, it can be done. The question is, Assassin's Creed style, where there's one character.
Well, okay. There's a couple Assassin's Creed where there's more than the one.
There's not a D&D party worth of people.
Yeah, there
The
is.
problem is with this, my experience with people talking about this stuff is they go into it half-assed. So it's like, okay, you arrive at the ball. What do? But clearly you have a mission. It's like, okay, if we knew we were going to do this, we would have blueprints, we would have maps, we would have an invitee list, we would know all of this information ahead of time. We would already know how to get into the vault, hopefully. So the problem is that people try and run it, but then the players are like, well, I don't fucking know, dude, because I don't know where the vault is.
Yeah, the other problem, too, is that they're just going to say, all right, stealth check, stealth check, stealth check, stealth check.
Persuasion.
Yeah, deception, maybe, and then stab.
Yeah.
Sneak attack, all right, we're good. Stealth check, like, and that's yeah. You really gotta vary that. I'm gonna say the best way to do this: skill challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let them know what they've got to do, and then put the right people in the right positions to do the right thing with a skill challenge that they can plan out.
Yeah. And there is no shame in you sitting there as the DM saying, guys, you're doing a heist, think heist movie. You're doing an assassination, think Assassin's Creed, right? We're talking parkour. We're talking reading the blueprints. We're like, there's always a lot of planning leading up to it, and I've devoted 2 sessions to planning. Okay? So please use them. Don't just be like, all right, well, we'll make sure we have suits, and then we'll wait till the day of. It's like, then you're going to die, right? So have as a DM, like, a 10-point checklist, and depending on how many points they check off is the varying degree of difficulty that you throw at them in the last fight or whatever it is.
Yeah, it's like, hey, you guys finally got to the capital city. What do you need to do this? And they're going to need things like wands and things. Maybe they've got to get the funds to buy the shit to be able to do it. Right? We need a cloak of invisibility, but we can't afford one yet.
Oh, I have a very easy solution to that. If you want to hit a heist with a high magic, like high powerful magic party, the entire vault area is an anti-magic field. You have to use mundane tools. And then your players are diving into their kits, their ropes, their everything else. Right? I mean, it's not hard to say
the thing
inalterable anti-magic field.
I quite often want to make it clear to players who, think that they can just cast spells, whatever. There's verbal, somatic, material components. You're waving your hands in the air. You have to be quite vocal. You're slapping back guano into your palm. You're doing all that sort of stuff. You can't just be like, I cast whatever. And it happens. It doesn't work like that.
I mean, unless you're a certain kind of sorcerer.
Yeah, sure. But that's a certain kind of sorcery,
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to go next here. It's a red 18.
18, Dan. I'm going to read this one.
Nope, I got it because you got the white table.
Right.
I got red. Spidey_Rich says if you could have one creature, special trait, or ability in real life, which would you choose?
My mind immediately went to vampire and incubus.
Charm person. Now that actually would be a pretty decent one. Having a charm person.
The amount of stuff you could achieve the amount of stuff you could achieve in your life if you had charm person it's limitless. Right?
You guys are bordering on being
creepy,
really evil. Charm person is not used for good things.
Oh, the only reason I'm not evil is because I know that the whole idea of if you can't do the time, don't do the crime.
Yeah,
very much resonates with me. So, that's how they get me. I've tried the good way. It doesn't fucking work. All right, I'm sick of playing by the rules.
Is it Zwerf Neblin that have the at-will silence spell?
My God, if there's anybody that should be able to be silent at will, it is you.
Thank you. No, I'm an incredibly light sleeper, and I have children, and the idea of just being able to just be like, shut up for a minute, and then hear the peace and quiet, and then have a little cry, because finally I understand silence again, which is a concept in my life that no longer exists. That's my answer.
Have a cutscene of your kids walking across the kitchen counters, dancing over the knives, and your son carrying the pot of boiling water.
That is legit. Just called my life.
Did you say your nut?
No, my knife. I was about to say my knife because I have seen my son running around the house with a pair of open fabric scissors, and I'm like, ah.
Terry.
Parenting's hard, guys. I'm not sure.
I don't know. I think I would just take this opportunity to be a vampire. Just take the vampire abilities.
Would you take the weaknesses as well?
Well, here the question is, which one do I want? So I don't want the weaknesses. So
because I like how in D&D 5e the weaknesses are the traditional weaknesses for the most part.
Yeah,
like running water. You need to have permission to enter a house, right?
Yeah,
I that kind of stuff's cool. But I could get why you wouldn't want that.
No, I mean, just purely sticking to the question where I don't have to take the weaknesses, so I'll just say no, but I think I like the idea of the vampire abilities, for sure.
Summoning bats and wolves, and turning into
turning into
cloud.
mist even, yeah. All of that sort of stuff, yeah.
Okay, Adam, we've given you your time.
Lucky.
Fair one. Why are we not thinking about this?
I would just I'd be
The most
halfling
broken,
lucky.
the most broken thing in the game.
Yeah, the halfling lucky. Like just
Oh,
like,
halfling luck or lucky?
I don't think it is.
no halfling lucky.
All it does is it gives you advantage 3 times.
Oh no, that's the feat.
And the
Halfling
feat is broken.
halfling luck.
How is that more broken than all of the other stuff where you get to re-roll? You get advantage 3 times.
It's not you get advantage 3 times. It's you and anyone else around your table that you see within 30 feet, I think is the range, gets an additional d20 that they can roll after they know the result.
Which is just rolling with advantage.
No, it's not. You roll with advantage before you know the result.
Yeah, but it
knowing
doesn't matter,
after
'cause you still take the better one.
No. Imagine you have this thing and you are failing hard. You can now get another d20 after you know for a fact you're failing hard. You have botched this death
But
save.
it doesn't
You have-
matter. It doesn't matter whether I do them both together or I do one, then go, oh well, it's shit.
Yes,
I'll just roll the
it
second
intrinsically does because of the amount of knowledge you have when the roll has taken place.
one. But again, you only get to do it 3 times.
Yeah, so just rolling it before the dice, but we get it 3 times, of course those aren't going to have high value because you're just going to knock out them all and you're going to be good. Saving those for high pressure situations where you need advantage, even though you won't, because it's also not advantage, it's you get an additional dice. So if you have the advantage disadvantage stack, which cancels each other out indefinitely, you
Right.
still get that second dice,
which is advantage.
which is lucky. It's not an advantage dice, it is an additional dice. They're different. So it's the most powerful feat in the game, bar none.
But not that. I said halfling luck.
But you said halfling luck, which is the reroll botches.
Yeah, so every time that I will just naturally automatically fail, I just have a chance to not. I would take that every fucking time. I'll never fall down the stairs again.
Mm-hmm.
I'll never get another car accident again. I'll never have anybody... I'll never have an awkward social scenario again. I will never forget somebody's name
Yeah.
that I met, 3 months ago. Again, like, I just...
fucking hate that.
Yep, no, that's what I would do. I mean, it gives me...
It's not auto success. It just gives you another chance not to absolutely horribly ruin everything.
Okay, but my question is, if you buy a lottery ticket and you miss, is that a failure or a crit failure?
It's just a failure.
Is it? Because it's the worst possible scenario.
No, the worst possible scenario is you don't even make it to the reading because you got hit by a fucking car.
No, but that's a separate
That-
chain of events.
Yeah, it's a separate chain of events.
I don't know,
it's-
butterfly effect. We're going to get into it.
No.
Lottery ticket is you win or you don't.
If you win, you would say that you hit a nat 20. And,
Well, yeah,
and
because the
because it's a
chances
binary
are-
because it's a binary system. Therefore, if you lose,
It's not a binary system.
it's a win or lose. That's binary. That's,
No,
yeah.
because if you get 3 numbers, you win a different amount of money. Or you win
still-
4 numbers, you get a
So
different amount of
so
money.
so what you're saying is that if I don't win at all, if I don't win anything, that's the worst case scenario. That's a botch. I get another chance.
Yes, but if you also roll 2, you don't win anything. Like, if you get 2 of the numbers, you don't get, no.
I'm pretty sure that I would end up winning money with this.
The logic and statistics don't support.
No problem.
You.
We'll play roulette instead.
Yeah, okay, yeah, sure. Yeah, fine.
Right?
Play blackjack. No, I don't want that flip. Nah.
No, I would pick halfling luck.
All right.
Halfling luck is the thing that I would have. Or
Lucky.
or I would do the night hag thing where I could infest people's dreams. I could have fun with that shit.
Terry roll before he gets carried away.
Okay.
Or the elven ability
Roll
to
faster.
trance.
Roll faster. Ooh, trance is actually a good.
What's that one?
Yeah.
4.
That's a 4. We've done it.
What's that one?
15.
15. 15.
Ha
Your boy Sebi. I assume his name is Sebastian.
It is your Boise baby. Because Boise's a place.
It's not your boy Sebi, is it?
No.
It's your Boise baby. What's up, baby? Wants to know how to create interesting NPCs. Fucking hell. Listen to the podcast. Listen to the podcast. Jesus H.
Hey. This was
I
one
ain't
of
got
the...
time for your shit.
This is one of the oldest questions that came up when our
God
very
damn.
first
Let me
mailbag.
cross this up. I ain't got time for your shit, okay? What do you want to do? Say 45 minutes?
No, we literally had time for this shit, and we've put it into many different
All right,
buckets.
so what's
That's
your,
three shit
what's your
ones I
one
have.
major tip then?
My one major tip.
Sum it up in one sentence. One sentence, Daniel. I challenge you one sentence.
Then I will flip that and challenge you one sentence. as
Okay.
well, with no expounding.
You didn't... I know that was not...
No. One fucking sentence.
Nope.
Right there.
All right. Terry, it's your question. You go first.
I'm going to find out what this person looks like.
Watch Peaky Blinders. Next.
Boo. Boo. No, that was your sentence. Fuck
Oh,
you.
actually, Tom Hardy's character is fucking brilliant in that. Tom Hardy's character is fucking
I
brilliant.
completely agree.
Yeah. Fair one. Yeah, well, really what Dan said is just draw inspiration from and use that as a focal point and then branch off from there.
Thank you for...
What Dan
Picking that up
means
for
by watch Peaky Blinders.
I had a sentence.
No, yeah, he has a sentence, and that's all. That he's already speaking too much.
Peaky fucking Blinders.
Understand your NPC's motivation and honor them to the utmost ability that you can.
We're at that level of drunk. We're at the profound level of drunk.
We're back.
Back in the game. Okay.
All right, my turn.
And
White 6.
White 6. We've
We
done
did
it.
it.
Done it.
White 2.
2.
We've done it.
We've done it.
White 4.
4. We
Hey.
have not done it.
Split the
Colton
difference.
Adrian.
Colton Adrian.
Hello, Colton.
Long time listener.
Long time
First
listener,
time
first
writer. Yeah.
So, oh man, I love it. Is the deck of many things just blank cards in the beholder's anti-cone, or could a brave soul pull all the cards while not being killed by said beholder and arrange them however?
So Terry gave up. I'm going to try this out. Is the deck of many things just blank cards in a beholder's anti-magic cone? Fill in that word there. Or could a brave soul pull all of the cards while not being killed by said beholder and arrange them however? I would actually say the deck of many things functions in the icon because it's a different level of magic.
It depends.
Anti-magic cone though.
It is legendary level magic versus a beholder.
You know what? I don't know. I don't agree with you. In my campaign, in my world, where I have previously established that there are multiple levels of magic, then yes. But in strict fifth ed, no, man. Magic is magic. There it is.
Yep.
Yeah, and I also the way I imagine the deck of many things was kind of like the cards in Constantine, where he holds them up.
Yep.
And you got to say what it is. You could pull the same card and it may not show the same thing.
It's
the idea of the
It's
deck.
Doctor Who's psychic paper.
It's like the deck is just there as the whatever.
So it would be blank. To answer the question in the spirit that he is asking it would be a blank
The
card.
question is, do runes disappear on a page? Are scrolls blank then?
Yeah.
In an anti-magic field, scrolls are blank?
While they are in the anti-magic field, because it's a suppression wave, not a destruction wave. So they are suppressed. So the magic in them is suppressed.
I
So the
understand
magical
that.
runes are...
But the runes should still show, right?
Yeah, so you should still see. I would say that the brave soul should be able to shuffle and put one at the top.
I don't know. I've seen the Dungeons and Dragons movie where they're writing on scrolls and they're using magic ink that is a special ink.
You're quoting the Dungeons and Dragons movie,
I-
so you don't get to play anymore, Dan. You are kicked off of this podcast.
I see it kind of like if you're in under a silence spell. I can still feel my lungs vibrate from the air coming out. Like I'm still doing it, so I don't see why the runes would be removed. They're still there. It's just I can't activate them. The spell it has no effect. When I try.
I guess the question is the ink that was used on the cards, is that the material component? And would the material component disappear in an anti-magic field? Or does it just fizzle and nothing happens?
Or can you see the images, but you can't stack the order because the whole point is it always has to be random.
Well, yeah, okay, maybe that's the thing, and I like that better.
I like that, yeah.
You can go ahead, when you are in an anti-magic field, you walk in, you flip it over, and you see that all of the cards have the same runes.
Yeah.
Those runes, when they're able to be magical, hit a randomized feature that knows your future. And you are fated to draw your card. It's divination magic.
I like that.
How's that? Does that solve it?
How's that, Colton Adrian? Dan does not look convinced.
No, Dan doesn't like that, but he also quoted the Dungeons and Dragons movie, so we're done listening to Dan.
Yeah. You shot yourself in the foot with that one, Dan.
True.
All right,
Take it
who's
back.
rolling what now?
Very intentionally. That was your question. It's my turn.
Okay. Should have 2 left.
I am going to roll on the red table.
Red?
Okay.
I'm going to roll. I rolled on the
Go
red
on the dice
table.
box, please.
Yeah.
People at home are confused.
6.
6. Pepperina again.
Jesus.
I know. What creative aspects of the game do you enjoy? Painting, map making, prop building, etc. That's a good question, actually.
Peps tends to have good questions.
Yeah.
We give her shit, but She's thought this shit through.
Honestly, I love.
She's trying to get to know us.
We've said before. I like woodworking. I love crafting things. So prop building, craft building, that kind of stuff's fun. I can get lost in a map. In like creating maps.
Yeah.
Which is something I've only really started doing recently. Yeah, that's my answer. Mostly it's handcrafting something.
I haven't painted in a long time, and I miss it to death. I'd stick a bit of synthwave music on, or some lo-fi hip hop, or some weird Spotify playlist, and just focus on that and just do that for hours. And I really
You've been painting minis?
Sorry, just people, just a woman up the street. I just painted her. You will be. Shh.
Terry's just running around downtown with a set of beats on and a super soaker filled with red paint.
But painting minis, yeah. But I love maps, but I feel like I enjoy it because it's like, if I'm running a game where I use maps, it's necessary and I get some enjoyment out of it. But I really, really take pride when painting a mini goes well.
Yeah.
I just haven't been able to do it for a while, but maybe I'll bring it back
we've had painting parties where we just sit around and paint minis. So,
yeah.
At least I have.
Adam, I don't enjoy props too much, actually. Not interested in that as much. Tried it a bit, but it's not like I'm very good at it.
It's fair enough. There's a certain impact to dropping like a physical prop. In fact, it was one of the selling features for me to come join you guys.
Was that Adam buys us gifts every Christmas?
No, was that there are cool props. Like I thought it was. It wasn't even on my radar that I could hand.
So many.
I could hand like an actual stick that I like took a red Sharpie to one end and hand it to my player and be like, "This is your."
Adam gives us physical puzzles as well.
Yeah, and like fun. Physical puzzles that never like registered in my brain as something I could do. Mm-hmm. And when Adam's like, "Oh, I do this," I'm like, "I must play in this game."
Yes.
So,
Adam, what do you enjoy?
I like making maps well enough. I prefer making world maps to battle maps, but honestly, man, I like the random tables. There's nothing I like more than sitting down and making random tables. I can do that 8 hours a day, every day. And a different table. It doesn't have to be random encounters. It can be, who's this NPC? What are some town names, tavern names? I just get, because every time that I write one down, it sparks my inspiration, my creativity in some way about, oh, hey, this one's called the purple saxophone, right? And then I'm sitting there going, but why? And now I'm sitting there going through this idea of it was crafted from a purple wood, which is obviously some sort of berry vine.
Right.
Right. Which means that the people that got it have got to be natural. I'm thinking it's elves. You know what? I'm going to make it furbolgs. Right. So this is created by a furbolg bard. I've got a whole backstory now that I'm going off on.
How it used to be a different word, but colloquially they kind of pronounced it a different way.
Yeah.
Now it's spelled like this.
Yeah. And so I love random tables because I get to just blow the top off of my creativity and just slot in whatever the fuck I want. And so I'm not kidding when I say I've got a random table of 2,000 NPCs statted out. Like straight through down to what class, what are their con.
I love it. So when it comes to who you're looking at in the tavern.
Yeah, and I roll it's not even that. It's I sit there and I know all these people exist in this city.
Yeah.
And so when you go to talk to this person, because their job is next to it, I know who that person is. And there's usually a little note on my spreadsheet that says, has a wife who works here and 3 children this age.
Right.
And those people will also be on the table. So you could run into the wife later if you wanted to. And it's all there. Like, I love making intricate. It just lets me map it out in my brain as much as I possibly can. And I mean, it's awesome for magic items too. Right?
Yeah, you make some pretty unique magic items.
Because I'm not bound by what the player's handbook says, right? It's not enough to be, oh, you can have horseshoes or a saddle on a horse. No, there are blinders on a horse. But the blinders show it grassy field, so it's always comfortable, even in a dungeon. That's one I just came up with right now. That's
actually ingenious.
Right? So, like, I want to do shit like that all of the time. And I just
gave your horse freaking AR goggles.
Love it.
Yeah, I don't know. That's me. I love my random tables.
Terry, last one. Want to wrap us up here?
Yeah.
Don't fuck this up,
Don't
Terry.
fuck this up. I'm gonna go black again, I think, actually.
3
It's a
again.
3.
That is the
Fucking
millionth
goddamn.
time we have rolled 3 on the black table.
15.
We did that too.
God damn it.
I told you not to fuck this up.
2.
2. Hey, we didn't do 2. Oh.
Alexander, another Skip Davis asks, metal or plastic?
I'm assuming he means dice.
Swords.
I'm assuming he means dice or minis.
Women? Like the new robot sex dolls or like a traditional silicone-filled Barbie girl? Is that what we're going with here, Dan?
It's clearly what you're going with.
Plastic. All day. All right, no jokes about this. Okay, fine. Dice. I moved on to metal. As I told you guys before, it's as soon as I got that I got gifted to me that the metal dice set, it immediately stopped any craving for new dice and all of the fancy colors and all that. I was like, I'm done. I love this set and I use it all the time now.
But there's only 1d6.
If I need another D6, I will pull from my pool of plastic dice. And sometimes I just use the plastic ones for fun, but I'm saying that I love those dice. I think more than anything.
That's depressing. Adam?
What?
Metal or plastic?
Oh, we decided on dice? That's what we're talking about?
Well,
I got distracted by sex toys because I'm thinking, honestly, wouldn't metal get really cold? And I wouldn't want to insert anything like that, right? Like you're just gonna end up, you know, when you lick a frozen flagpole and your tongue gets stuck to it. That's my concern with metal.
Canada, though, isn't it? Well, some of them, like, because they're weighted more. So if you have to, over the course of the day, there's no better word to say it, stretch. It's to the little bit of weight. Dan,
We're talking fucking dice.
Yeah, we are talking fucking. But no, does adding batteries change how it's weighted?
No, just dice. We're talking
it's like a
dice.
sword, isn't it? It's like a sword if you play. Depends
Yeah.
on
Oh God, why did I agree to do this with you people?
Dan, what do you prefer?
I like plastic dice better.
I like plastic dice better. More variety.
It's not even more variety. I got metal dice, and the problem that I have with metal dice, the set that I got, the D8s have really sharp corners, so they don't roll. Mm-hmm. Right? And the D4s as well. They're weighted so heavily that they don't roll. They thunk and land, and then they're done.
My way that I roll dice is I like to do a spin in the air anyway.
Yeah, but then you're going to take chunks out of your dice tray.
That's true. That's
Yeah,
true.
and there are actually chunks out of this dice tray from when I was using my metal dice set. Really? So
Yeah, which means that
Jess made this for you, didn't she?
yeah, she did.
And this is how you treat her dice box.
With love, I'm using it.
That one will come back.
So
That's
that's also what I have to say about the sex toys. With love, I'm using it.
cool.
That's how I'm using it.
Goth girls or Barbie girls, Dan?
Goth girls every day, all day.
Yeah.
That was a really fast answer.
That was really fast.
Yeah, no, I know what I like.
There's one question on here.
Should we each choose a question?
Sure, they did this to us in the other one here, Dan.
Okay, so we're just grabbing one and we choose it.
Are we only going to choose from the table?
Fuck,
that we're
Mary,
holding?
Kale, Brad, Megan, Dave.
I wish that was a real question. Someone write that in.
Someone write that in and we'll answer it next time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I got mine.
Okay, what do you got?
Okay, this one is from our bud Alexander Davis, who asks, "What powers do you think a petrified Ent Lich would likely have?"
Read that overly specific question again.
What powers do you think a petrified Ent Lich would likely have?
It doesn't matter what powers they have; they're petrified.
I mean, yeah, I guess that's fair enough. Yeah,
Right, that's my answer.
I would go with I would go less with the straight up arcane mastery and go a little bit more druidic feel to it. Super evil, almost a blighter of sorts. Like they just seek to consume.
You just reskin everything that's like the black tentacles are now just like dead thorns.
Yeah,
and shit.
yeah, right.
So
like I would do that, and
he could raise corpse flowers and shit, right? Like,
yeah, right. Or he is the one. His zombies that he has are like spore zombies, right? And everything is mushrooms or myconids or
everything's always a mushroom with you, Dan.
He's probably connected with Zugtamoy in some way, shape, or form.
Terry, what do you got?
Which question?
Yep. What on that list?
I like this one. It's Pepperina again, actually. She's throwing some good ones out. What pre-game rituals do you all have? Dan.
Dan doesn't prep. He doesn't have pregame.
No, I have pregame rituals. I make sure everything's out and organized in the way it's at my house, so I clean. And while I clean, I think about the session that's coming up. I think the biggest one is the dice selection. Like I've got a little almost a tackle box almost that has every single one of my sets separated. And at the end of every session, I like to put all my dice back in their own little section. So all of my sets are split up and on display. And before the game starts, I sit back and I choose the dice who are going to be used during this session. And depending on my current emotional state or how heavy the session is going to be or how many dice I know I'm going to need to throw around, I choose different sets. So I think the biggest ritual I have is reading through my notes, which are usually messy, choosing my dice, and kind of having a moment of zen as I clean up the room.
Terry?
I'm going to do it from the point of the DM because my pre-game rituals for players, it's boring. I'm inevitably running late and the whole thing is falling apart. As a DM, the way I prep for my session, if I know it's coming on later on in the day, I'm quite a method actor in the sense that I essentially just practice my NPC voices all day in the car, and I will just practice, not even the NPCs I'm going to use, I will just try and be Mrs. Doubtfire on the way to work or whatever, and I'll just practice like an Al Pacino voice and whatever.
Which is stellar.
It was the first time I've ever done it, and I was trying, and I'm going to work on that because I feel like there's something there. I just got to adjust it a little bit. Or I'll do like Tom Hardy's character from Peaky Blinders or whatever, because I like staying fresh and fluid with that. So if somebody throws something at me, I can just jump into something. And usually what I'll do is I'll try and channel another character from somewhere, but I'll do something like, okay, I want to make this accent, but I want to make my voice lower and I want to act more nervous.
Yeah.
But what I do is I basically just walk around all day doing stupid voices. So
When I prep, I listen to music. And I have themed music for each character. So my pre-game ritual before, we play on Sundays and Tuesdays. So I have a little bit of time after work on Tuesdays and a lot of time on Sunday mornings to sit down and listen to the music for the characters. That puts me right back in the world every single time. And it focuses me. But also, you as a DM, let's be honest here, you got to poo before you play.
me?
Every DM needs to have their evacuation. They gotta have themselves a little push, right? They gotta. They
You have to poo right before the game, like
not right before, but you gotta squeeze before you can roll dice, right? Like that's it.
I just
So you go
I've
and spend
never
a good
noticed.
amount of time on the porcelain throne.
No. I'm quite the opposite. I sit there and I say on Saturday night, what is my diet?
Really?
Oh yeah. Because I do not want to be interrupted in the middle of a campaign.
Saturday night, I'm eating pizza, so
I am not. No,
because it won't work.
No, pizza's just greasy. No, I'm looking at my diet going, what's going to keep me from interrupting my game? I'm not going to have a big old bowl of chili. I'm not going to down 40 beers before, no. Clean living before D&D.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Man,
that's the time of the week that I have clean
everybody
living.
plays D&D on a weekend, most people, typically. And that's the time when I'm letting loose.
Look, it's fucking artichoke dip. It's nacho chips. It's
all of this.
Gummies
It's
and
gummies and
soda
cookies
and beer.
and pop, not soda. I don't even know what that is. It's so depressing.
Nobody
when he says
does.
it.
Nobody does. Of the 192 countries in the world, one country knows what that is.
There's like those 2-bite brownies. Like Monday hurts me.
Yeah.
So Saturday cleanses me for D&D.
Right.
That's my answer.
I like it. That was a good question, wasn't it?
All right, hold on. I had one. Zombie night. Hey Jeff.
Hey, Jeff. Hey.
What information do you have on the back of your DM screens?
Oh, that's good.
I'm going to answer my own question.
On the back of the DM screens? Well, I got a nice picture of like a dragon.
No.
or,
Well, the back, as far as the players are concerned, you fuckwad. I keep my crit tables there.
Crit tables, yeah, your crit tables are phenomenal. I now keep crit tables there because after playing with Adam's crit tables, I don't think I could ever play a game again without crit tables. I have the passive perceptions of the party and also their passive intelligence as well.
Yeah, the other thing that I am going to start putting on it are the conditions and what each of them fucking does. They're on some of them, but it's never the deep dive that I want to be summed up in like one sentence or less.
They're on they're on the back of the standard one, but they're in the way. Because it's like you're gonna arrange your screen different to that. And it's like you could have them more concise and off to the side somewhere.
Yeah, I want to print them off in like 8-point font and stick them off to the side so that when I need, they're on the far left of the DM screen. So.
What I have started doing is rings from ring binders on the back of the screen, so I can have 3 or 4 sheets in plastic, wallets and flip them.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, so for the stuff that I may need access to is in the town down the way. If I need the basic information on that, I can just flip to it, but it won't. The players won't see what's on the other side of the paper when I flip it.
You guys have hit all the answers. Like I'll have party names. I'll have important NPCs as well that are active in this part of the campaign. I'll have their names and their important details on the DM screen as well. And to a lesser extent, I will have shop inventories. If I know cool. if I know they're about to hit the shops, I'm going to have a good idea of what their inventories are. Because let's be honest, if you're going to a random hamlet in the middle of nowhere, they're not going to be able to buy your +5 sort of.
Random hamlet is a good name for a band.
It is. I Random Macbeth would be better. But do you know what else?
Random Scottish play.
As well? This is really good for when I started your Theatre of the Mind group. For Theatre of the Mind groups is, like trading card plastic wallets where you put trading cards in, but have very small maps of your dungeons or whatever.
That's actually something you showed me how to, that you used a lot was you used like index cards with those things.
Yeah, and then you just put that on the back of your DM screen and you can have 6 different maps laid out small. You just you as the DM needs it, right? Because it's Theatre of the Mind, but it gives you a visual of what's going on.
No, I've been using that for like I like just giving out magic items recklessly as a DM. So giving players an actual tangible item and say you find this magic item and handing them a card.
Well, then they also they get to read it. They'll read it in front, and you see the player that gets it, reads it, then they get excited, then everybody's coming over going, what is it?
Yeah.
What is it? Yeah. Especially the ones where it's like, for whatever reason, they can't show the other people just yet.
Yeah. And it's just an index card. It's not difficult. So.
That's right.
Anyways.
It's done because Adam's passing out over there.
Adam's powering down.
Bedtime, innit?
Yep.
All right, well, that's been it for another episode of the It's a Mimic podcast.
This has been Mailbag 7.
Mailbag 7?
7.
Mailbag 7. Keep sending them in. info@itsamimic.com. Find us on Instagram. You know the rest of it. I don't have it in front of me. Okay, look, we'll catch you for next week's episode where we are talking about... What we talking about next week?
I haven't the foggiest.
We don't know. See you then.
Stop playing other people's games. Yeah, I'm done. Fuck.
That's going to be a soundbite.